Good morning, happy Friday, and my name is Marshy. Welcome to another newsletter video wrap-up of AI versus Marshy, the newsletter that I use to chart and chronicle the impact of AI. And I don't think anything happened in AI this week, did it? I think that's a bit trite because unless you were hiding under a rock, there was quite a lot of kerfuffle within the walls and offices of OpenAI, so we unpack a bit of that with takes from other people, not myself. I share a tool of the week I'm pretty excited about, and I do a throwback to the wizard hat. So I think one thing we can take away from the last week or so is that Silicon Valley has a lot of egos and drama. There's a summary that I liked of what happened on Ben's Bytes, and there's an even more detailed summary of what happened in a Reddit thread. And essentially, Sam Altman, CEO of OpenAI, was sacked by the board. There was a lot of support. There was an invitation from the board to reapply and rediscuss things. That backfired. And then lots of back and forth. And eventually it looks like now he's back reinstated. And the bit that is probably a mystery to everyone is, despite all the huffing and puffing and throwing and drama, there isn't much to go on in terms of what that underlying reason was or why. There's an article that came out from Reuters yesterday, and the interesting quote that I saw from this is a mention, although it wasn't verified, of an algorithm called Q-Star. And while it won't sound exciting, Q-Star has the ability to reason and understand concepts like grade level math. The reason this could be a threat is because with what we see with generative AI, it's very effective prediction of what's most likely to happen next. The difference with something like grade level math is these are concepts that are precise and are scaffolding to more advanced math concepts such as calculus. And so that, with the power of machine learning, artificial intelligence, and all this technology wahoo that I certainly don't know anywhere near enough about, is with enough of that resource, those concepts could accelerate towards more advanced concepts, within a finite timeline. And that means it continues to grow. And so it's not so much what's happening today, it's those more advanced concepts that it can grasp later. And that's getting closer to an inevitability, and it'll happen in our lifetimes. So that's not the most mind-blowing thing, but stay tuned. Tool of the week, you may have heard of a tool called Zapier, that is a no-code tool that lets you connect all your software. So an example might be, I get a subscription to my newsletter and I get an alert on Slack. It's a great tool. It's very easy and visual to navigate and understand. Pipedream is not that. Pipedream lets you connect anything and has a lot more fine-tuned controls and is no code if you need it, but has all the code and stuff that you can do as well. And so the example that I've sort of been playing with is going and getting information based off a list I give it, screen capturing, popping it into my database, connecting to OpenAI and scanning for anything comment worthy, and then producing an email. And that does all automated through the connections that Pipedream can do. It's been really fun to use and play with. And, I'm not a developer by any stretch, but even I was able to punch out some stuff from the command line, from Homebrew and Mac. And it was really fun doing that stuff again after not doing it for 30 years since my DOS days. So the last article I wanted to share, and a bit inspired by some of the kerfuffle seen with the OpenAI dramas. Tim Urban is one of my favorite writers, online writers, one of the originals that I really enjoyed and even supported on Patreon for a while. He has the blog Wait But Why, which you've probably heard of or seen. And years ago, back in 2017, Tim wrote an article about Neuralink and the brain's magical future. And the reason I'm referencing this is because the article also references AI and it being an existential threat. And the interesting part about it is, at the time, Neuralink was basically science fiction. Here's a video from a monkey that can play Pong with his brain. via Neuralink. That was 2 years ago. And today, if you check Neuralink's site, they're actually starting to test with humans. And so this machine that plugs into your brain to help control, there's still a lot of work to do, but it's gone from fiction to something that's starting to become a reality. And the reason I share this is because at the time that article was shared, AI was perceived as an existential threat, and OpenAI was just forming, with Elon Musk as well. And the way the article was framed and the way Elon framed it at the time, basically, we really want to solve this hard problem with the machine that plugs into the brain. And in the background is this AI thing. And the most mind-blowing part of this article, it's 36,000 words, mind you, is eventually there's a reality where we merge artificial general intelligence with the machine that connects into our brains. So that's like something that's written, something that people have advocated for, and completely terrifying. It's just hard to picture or fathom. An ideal state in this scenario that's presented is a collective intelligence that helps everyone for the betterment of humanity. And I guess I'm just reminding us of sort of some of the intentions of what we've seen unfold. We're not playing for sheep stations here. And so seeing all this drama and mismanagement unfold from one of the leaders in the space, at least publicly, it's not a good thing. Thanks. Newsletter was delayed a bit this week. Family is still a bit ill. I'm on the mend, of course, but it still hasn't been too fun for my poor family. Be safe, have a good weekend, and if you enjoyed this video and newsletter, let me know.